In today's video, we're going to take a look at the November 2023 housing market update for the greater St. George area. All right, let's get to it. All right, if this is your first time here, we talk about everything there is to know about living in Southern Utah. My name is Elizabeth Prisbrey. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group. If you are looking to buy, sell, or invest here in Southern Utah, I would love to help you out with that. If you're just here looking for information, I'm going to give you that as well. All right, let's get to today's housing market update for the greater St. George area. Now, I did say this is the November 2023 housing market update. That is because it is November. However, we are going to look at data up through the end of October, so up to October 31st of 2023. Now, I have jumped into some slides because I am a visual person. I like to share things both visually and verbally to give you an idea of what we are looking at here. I want to take a look at the median sales price first. Now, this is covering the greater St. George area, and we are going to take a look at it for the last 5 years for the month of October. So as we're looking at this for 2018, 2019, 2020, and so on, this is going to be specific for the month of October, or ending the month of October. Now, this first one here, it does show an increase in 2018. That is the increase we had from 2017 to 2018. I also put the data here up in the top right corner just in case you want those specific values, but it helps me get a clearer picture when I see it in a graph form. Now, for the last 5 years, we have increased our median sales price here in the greater St. George area, with the exception of this last October. We actually went down a little bit in our median sales price here in the greater St. George area, dropping from just under $550,000 for our median sales price down to just under $500,000 for our median sales price. Now, if you want to take a look at that in percent change, you can see we had the highest percent change in our median sales price in 2021. We also went up quite a bit in 2020 and even in 2022 after those interest rates started going up. But you can see prior to 2023, our median sales price was increasing year over year, and quite significantly for a few of those years. Now, I want to take a look at why our median sales price could have gone down here. Of course, we're all watching the housing market nationally, but I think it's a good idea to take a look at your local market or where you are thinking of living to see how the housing market is being affected in this area. As we can see in the greater St. George area, in the month of October, our median sales price did dip down a good 10%. So why is that? What is happening in St. George? Well, if we take a look at our absorption rate, remember our absorption rate, that's going to be our month's supply or month's inventory, however you want to say it. Essentially, that is how many months it would take to sell the current homes on the market if all conditions remained the same. No new listings were added to the market and everything was as is today. If we take a look at this over the last 5 years and what the trends have been, before COVID, the greater St. George area was sitting over a 3-month supply of housing. In 2020, 2021, those dipped quite a bit. In 2020, we were over just 1 month supply, and in 2021, a little over 1.5 months supply. Now, they say a 6-month supply is a balanced housing market, meaning both buyers and sellers have the same negotiating power. If it is less than a 6-month supply, we say it's a seller's market. If it's more than a 6-month supply, then we consider it a buyer's market, meaning there's plenty of inventory out there and buyers don't have as much competition in the market. If it's a seller's market, there's plenty of buyers out there and they don't have as many options available to them, so the seller has more negotiating powers. Now, that's why we see in 2020, 2021, when our inventory dipped pretty low, that's why we saw these home prices increasing quite a bit. And they were increasing every year with the exception of this year because, again, we were not in a balanced market. You can see we've been in a seller's market for quite some time. So why did it dip in 2023? We're clearly not back to a buyer's market. We're not even to where it's fully balanced yet. It's technically still considered a seller's market. Why is that? Even our new listings would say that our home prices should be appreciating here in the greater St. George area. As you can see, new listings have consistently gone down from 2018 to 2023. When inventory is low, sellers typically have more negotiating power, which drives that price up. But that's not what we have been seeing the last month in the greater St. George area. Now, new listings are going to be homes that come to the market in the month of October, meaning they are brand new, they haven't been sitting for a long amount of time. So comparatively, over the last 5 years, we had less new listings in St. George than we did prior. Now, active listings are a little bit different. Active listings will include our new listings as well as those homes that have been on the market. You can see these numbers are quite larger here comparatively to the new listings, which means several of those have been sitting on the market longer than 30 days. Now, with that being said, our active listings were pretty low in 2020 for the greater St. George area as well as 2021. Half of what we were seeing in 2018, 2019, 2022, and 2023. Again, that's what led to our housing market increasing so much over the last 5 years. But we're still kind of stuck on why did our median sales price depreciate in the last month? Well, as you know, we've been seeing a lot going on in the market. We know that interest rates are pretty high. And I believe we're starting to finally see the effects of that. Yes, it was starting to happen in 2022, but now we've had almost a year and a half, actually a little over a year and a half, of the Fed increasing those interest rates to stabilize this market. And I do believe that is what is starting to happen here in St. George. We have enough active listings that are pretty comparable to prior to COVID in 2018 and 2019. Then if we take a look at pending sales, we're not quite up to where we were in 2018, 2019. Of course, they're lower than those 2020 and 2021 years. Those are our outlier years where we had a lot of other contributing factors to that. For example, interest rates dipped pretty low during that time, and as we've seen, they've been going higher. However, we did have more pending sales in the month of October than we did in 2022. Now, when a property is pending, that means that it is no longer active on the market. It is in contract between a buyer and a seller. However, it has not closed yet, meaning that that home has not transferred from the seller's name over to the buyer's name. So it's kind of an indication of what's coming in the market, and we compare those numbers with closed numbers and the active and new listings as well to get a full picture of how stable the housing market is looking here in the greater St. George area. Now, sold listings, we can see we're almost spot on to what we were last year in 2022. Now, we're still quite a bit lower than we were in 2018, 2019, 2021, and then we don't even expect it to be anywhere near 2020 again because that is our outlier year. So we are seeing the St. George market adjust. But I believe that's a good thing. I believe that it is stabilizing for us. Now, that data, the active listings, the new listings, pending and sold, that's what makes up our statistics so that we know how the St. George market is doing. And when we compare it to what it used to be, we can kind of project or forecast how it's going to be moving forward. Now, most of the data is pretty similar to what it was prior to COVID. However, we still saw a dip in the median sales price here in the greater St. George area. Now, of course, I believe that has a lot to do with our interest rates. As far as active listings, pending, sold, those are pretty comparable to what we saw prior to COVID. And we still saw an appreciation in our median sales price prior to COVID. So that leads me to believe that yes, we do have higher home prices here, but we can see what the interest rates have been doing. Prior to COVID, we were under 5%, between 5 and 4%, but then we're getting down into 2020, and this is on Freddie Mac's website. So we're just looking at the U.S. weekly average mortgage rates currently, but it is taking us back over the last 5 years since that's what we are looking at. But if we look back into 2020, right around in October, the 30-year mortgage interest rate was below 3% as a national average. Of course, those are going to skyrocket. Now, since then, starting in the end of 2021, we slowly started to climb, a few little dips there, but we are topping out very near 8% on our interest rate for a mortgage loan. Of course, that's going to have an impact on our median sales price. That's what the Fed has been trying to do. They've been trying to rein in the housing market and get it under control. So even though we still have a month's supply that is considered a seller's market, and our active listings are pretty comparable, they're not too much different from 2018, 2019, maybe about 100 less. And although closings are down, but still comparable to 2022 when we still had appreciation, that leads me to believe that the interest rate is the biggest contributing factor to the decrease in the median sales price here in the greater St. George area. Of course, that's opinion according to me, Elizabeth Prisbrey, so take it for what you will, but you can see the data here. You are seeing the same thing as I am. I'd love to know in the comments below if you're seeing something different or if you have a different takeaway here. And what I mean by that with the interest rates is homes are still selling. We can see it in our pending listings here. We can see it in our sold listings here. They may not be as great as they were in 2020, but they are still selling. Now, with interest rates being higher, that means homes are less affordable than they were in 2020 because that added interest adds to your payment. So it is bound that that median sales price is going to come down as people are looking for homes that are lower priced so that they can still purchase that home. All right, hopefully you found some value in this monthly market update for the greater St. George area. Again, if you are looking to buy, sell, or invest here in Southern Utah, my name is Elizabeth Prisbrey. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group, and I promise you, if you reach out, I will respond. All right, until next time, have a wonderful day.